Okay, so I don't know if you've heard this, but oh, man, I got some intel for you regarding the CBA. Now, they're restarting negotiations of some kind, the Players Association and the owners today, and we'll see where they are because we had great momentum on Saturday night, then it just fell apart completely on Sunday. Extended deadline to Monday, and nothing happened. But there's some things that we have found out about, and over the last half a day that I definitely want you to know. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that right now, because I don't want you to miss all the stuff that's going to come out now after this, because it's going to play a significant role into our perception of what's going on. At least some of us, okay? And make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified of everything too, especially, when this thing ends, this lockout ends, you're going to want to know, right? You'll know here. All the breaking news that comes out afterward, I'm going to want to put it out to you. Every single one, every free agent move, every trade, and all this stuff. Okay? Everything. You're going to get it here. So make sure you do those things right now. And if you like the videos, please hit the like button as well. It's really helpful and it's greatly appreciated. So with that, on Chris Russo's Mad Dog show on Sirius XM today, he had Bill Madden? He's a Hall of Fame baseball writer. And they were talking about the CBA and what happened over the last several months, obviously, and things that have transpired. But what has happened over the last couple of days, we're just finding out. And it's being leaked from agents and other owners. And it's like, oh my God. So before, and again, I've been hard on Manfred, the owners, and it's rightful justification. I've been in the same, boat with the Players Association too, and rightfully so. I've also given them credit on both sides where I feel it's due. So I want to be impartial here, but this right here is significant, and I'm not sure how many people know about it, but a lot of people are going to know about it now. And Scott Boras, it sounds as if Scott Boras sabotaged this whole entire CBA on Sunday. And again, listen to that. Listen to that conversation he has with Chris Russo. It is unbelievable. Okay, and if you can't find it, go to Ballcap Sports. He has the live audio, Ballcap Sports channel. He's got the live audio conversation. You can listen to it, the whole entire thing, and it is remarkable. Okay, so as we know, there was nothing really happening for 6 weeks or so in the beginning in December, and then things just started to flicker out here, flicker out there, and blah blah blah. And then the last 10 days, things really started happening. It was little proposals, and then we got hit with a tsunami of activity on Saturday, right? And they got close. Closer than we originally thought. And they basically condensed 3 months of negotiations into a day. So, which leads me to, it shows that it was possible to begin with, but that said, they did that, and they made a bunch of progress. Things were agreed upon. I mean, the union secured a massive increase in the pre-arb salary for rookies for 0 to 1 years. It went from $570,000 to $700,000. Universal DH was agreed upon. They also secured a draft pool of $30 million that was never there before, that the owners agreed on, right? To the raise essentially for service time. This extra bonus pool is for performance for these kids. So the better they play, there's more money allocated to them. So it allows them to make more money, which is great. It's a good thing that they secured that, because the young kids should be paid more. And a whole bunch of other things. I mean, they made compromises here, they made compromises there. Revenue sharing, draft pool, draft pick compensation. They also got rid of draft pick compensation for players that on a qualifying offer. Okay, which to me, I mean, it makes it easier for players to make money, because sometimes a team won't want to sign you because they don't want to give up all that compensation, and as well as a big contract, because they'll lose international prospect money and draft pick compensation, and then have to sign a player to a big contract. So it discourages teams from spending money, okay, in areas. So, and I've seen it happen. It happened with the Yankees. It happens with a lot of teams, and some teams have even waited out the qualifying offer deadline, which was sometime in May, and then that goes bye, and then you can sign a player without having to forfeit that stuff. But this is gone now. This was agreed upon, and the owners agreed on this. So, and again, and a lot of other concessions were made by both sides, okay? But anyway, they made a bunch of progress on Saturday, and Scott Boras came in on Sunday, and you listen to the interview. He says Scott Boras came in and instructed them to turn it down. And his, I don't know what you call him, his bulldog, Max Scherzer, who's one of the player reps, and he's one of the most notorious bulldogs on the mound. Well, apparently this guy was incorrigible to deal with over the last 10 days, yelling and cursing and screaming at people. He was just a complete a-hole. And he made it really, really difficult for owners to negotiate. And, oh, by the way, okay, a lot of these chief negotiators that were going back and forth, that were acting like mediators. I don't know if you saw these people, all the photos of guys walking back and forth to meeting this, meeting B, meeting 12, meeting 13. Most of those guys were Scott Boras, people in the Boras Corp, or Boras guys that have made it difficult from the beginning. And just so all the venom doesn't go to Rob Manfred, who absorbs, he's obviously the lapdog for the owners, just like Tony Clark is a lapdog for the Players Association, just like people think Aaron Boone's Cashman's lapdog and Cashman's Hal's lapdog and blah, blah, blah. So another thing that he mentioned too is that these Scott Boras lawyers, they had some unreasonable, ridiculous demands that made it impossible for the MLB owners who tried to start negotiating from the beginning. And they had to initiate this lockout because one of those reasons, because it was impossible for them to negotiate. So little things like this, give more insight into what happened. Okay, and again, I don't want to stick onto just blaming the owners. And are they greedy? A lot of them? Yeah. Are they swimming in profits? Yes, we know this. Okay, and it's like pulling teeth out of getting them to pay players. But they also did not, hold hostage the last couple of CBAs. The Players Union agreed to a terrible one last time. Voluntarily. They did it themselves. And a lot of the stuff didn't have anything to do with these types of things. They agreed to all this other stuff. They had these demands for luxury this, luxury that didn't have anything to do with baseball. So that's on them. Okay, and obviously, and they're it sounds as if Scott Boras is in cahoots now and essentially holding hostage this CBA. So he instructed them to say no and flat out reject it. All those things, all those concessions that they've gotten. This is not only going to hurt the fans who pay boatloads of money, right, in ticket sales, merch, concessions, $30 for chicken wings and fries, parking, and whatever else to pay these people's bloated salaries. This is going to hurt the young kids now because there's a good chance that Scott Boras could have sabotaged this whole thing. There's no guarantee that the owners are going to come back and agree to all this stuff now. The ball's in the players' court now. So they're going to have to figure out what to do here, especially if this is 100% accurate, and it sounds like it is. So, and this is a guy that's been going back and forth for decades, fighting Scott Boras, and who's notorious for doing stuff like, he's the best in the game at securing massive contracts for players, getting teams to overpay. He's also notorious for crying collusion when he can't get teams to collectively overpay for his clients. So he's the best in his game at a lot of things, and he's also brilliant at manipulation. So, I don't want to call him the best at everything because he does have a devious side too. And again, he's about Scott Boras. The more he makes for his players, the more he makes himself and the Boras Corp. So, but him and his lawyers. And again, I'm of the opinion that negotiations now, they should just be together in the same room. Okay, MLB owners initially wanted a mediator, right, to help facilitate this. The union said no. But who do you think these guys are going back and forth? Here's your proposal. Here's your counter proposal. You saw how many meetings they had and how many times they switched rooms because they were going from one to the other. It's the same exact thing as mediators. That the Players Association, the chief negotiators, whatever you call them, these lawyers, but that's exactly what they were doing. And by the way, he also said this. One of the main reasons they had all this progress on Saturday, Scott Boras was not there. Neither was Max Scherzer. They were not there that day. Came back the next day. They were both there. Went to crap. Okay? And their behavior and what they did and all this stuff. And it matters. Okay, it matters. Scherzer's the Hall of Fame pitcher, no doubt about it. But he played a part in this. And obviously Scott Boras played a bigger part. He's essentially the Michael Corleone of agents and on the player side. So, and a lot of agents kind of do what he wants. A lot of players do. It's just, it is what it is. He's got that much power and that much juice on that side of the game. But there's a good chance he overplayed his hand here and sabotaged. And he might have to do some damage control here. He might be held accountable. I don't know, but I wanted to share this with you because it's important, that these things. Because again, a lot of people are right now just shifting all the blame to Rob Manfred, and again, who absorbed. And I've said this: the owners should be out here, just like the players were out there with Tony Clark addressing the media. There is no reason why the owner should not have been there with Rob Manfred. He absorbs everything, and again, he acts like an arrogant lawyer. There's a lot of things that he does that rubs people the wrong way. I get it, but the owner should have been out there. They need to defend their position of why they don't want to pay these players and blah blah. Defend their greed, okay, and. More than two handfuls of owners for the period of this negotiations were making it really difficult to get a deal done as well. Mostly small market teams. So he needs 23 out of 30 votes. He didn't have it until Saturday, until they made all the progress. He had the votes to get the deal done, Manfred, and then it all fell apart on Sunday sounds like mainly because of Scott Boras. And again, Max Scherzer in a smaller capacity. So you guys take with that, as you wish. Let me know what you think, how if your thought processes change a little bit now, if your perspective changes a little bit, because it does mine. I'm holding both sides accountable, but now Scott Boras throws a whole nother dynamic in here. He's the X factor here. And, they're going to have to they're going to have to take 2 steps back again. There's a good chance they might miss a significant amount of baseball now, regular season games, because of this stuff. And it could have been agreed upon. They could have had a deal. What surprises me is that the overwhelming majority of the players, the people that I speak to, automatically blamed Scott Boras. Automatically blamed Rob Manfred and the owners, but mostly Rob Manfred. People want him gone. I get it. He's universally hated. I get it. But does that change now? Do you levy any of that blame on Scott Boras? Because it sounds as if they had a deal that was, that had the pieces to be done, that could have been finalized on Sunday. And then Boras came and threw a nuclear bomb at it. What do you guys think? Let's get into this.